Welcome to Jesus Christ Prison Ministry and another video Bible study. Our topic, the Book of John, the Prayer, Part 9. This is from John chapter 16, verses 25 through 33. I have said these things to you in figures of speech. The hour is coming when I will no longer speak to you in figures of speech, but will tell you plainly about the Father. In that day you will ask in my name, and I do not say to you that I will ask the Father on your behalf, for the Father himself loves you, because you have loved me and have believed that I came from God. I truly believe that the modern Christian has no idea where Jesus came from. Oh, we sing about it, talk about it, and put on plays and movies about his birth. But I am not sure we really understand where he came from. He is not a new God that showed up on the scene. That is what the modern Christian churches and denominations want you to believe. However, he came from God. He went through the birth process in order to point us to the Father, but how many really think about the Father? That is why the worldly churches today are so confused with regard to the law, the Ten Commandments. They do not realize that Jesus did not come to do away with them. He can't. They belong to his Father. He came to glorify them in his life. He came to teach them. He came to show us how to live them in our lives. If Jesus came to do away with the law, his Father would have to do away with him. I came from the Father and have come into the world, and now I am leaving the world and going to the Father. Very few realize why Jesus went back to the Father. Like Enoch, Moses, and Elijah, Jesus went to heaven because he was living the law. Even though Enoch, Moses, and Elijah made mistakes, their lives were totally for living in obedience to the law. Jesus never sinned and showed that we don't have to sin either. Then, as a reward for his love of the law, he was taken back into heaven. After all, the world didn't want him, so he left. But when he left behind gifts for the world. Those gifts were his disciples. They were to spread around the love of Jesus through obedience to the law of God. They were to continue revealing to the world what the world would be like if everyone lived in obedience to the law. What mighty gifts he gave. How rejected they have been. Are you willing to be a gift from God to those around you? His disciples said, now you are speaking plainly and not using figurative speech. Now we know that you know all things and do not need anyone to question you. This is why we believe that you came from God. Jesus could read their thoughts. He had told them what they had been whispering among themselves. After 3.5 years of walking with Jesus, watching him raise the dead, heal the sick, and cast out demons, now they believe. Jesus answered them, "Do you now believe? Behold, the hour is coming. Indeed, it has come, when you will be scattered each to his own home, and will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, for the Father is with me. No matter how much they believed, their faith in God had not yet reached the point of permanence. They would lose their faith and be scattered each to his own home. They still believed, but their faith was weak. Over the last 3.5 years, they should have been putting their faith to work in order to strengthen it. But they put their faith to sleep under the blanket of belief. I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Jesus didn't want anything of the world. He knew how fleeting the things of this world were. Nothing of this world lasts. Only the peace of Jesus will last. Only the peace of Jesus in your life will withstand the tribulation that is soon to take place. But if you are not exercising your faith, it will be too weak to hold up under the pressure of the world. It is in living in obedience to Jesus now that enables us to exercise our faith and to strengthen it. Jesus exercised his faith every day in order to live without sin. We must follow his example now before it is too late. Thank you for joining JCPM and Jesus Christ for another video Bible study.